What's going on YouTube? Crypto for Change here. My name's David. We got an awesome video today for you guys, and it's actually a joint video between me and one of my fellow algonauts in the crypto community, C-Will. Also, the Passive Income Network. You can follow him on YouTube with that or on Twitter. He's at CWillPDX. I'll link all that down in the description below as well. And we're just going to talk about some of the Algorand ecosystem. We're going to even talk about the metaverse with Facebook rebranding. We're going to talk about banking, centralized, and now being some of the banking being decentralized, and just overall finance. Some good stuff we're going to discuss. And this may be something that we continue on just on a monthly basis, or maybe a bi-monthly basis. I don't really know yet. We're still kind of working out the details, but we had a lot of fun just discussing these topics. This is a longer video that's coming out, but I'm going to try to break it up so that if you're looking for a specific topic, you can find that pretty quick. But let me know in the comments down below if this is something that you like, if this is a video series that maybe we can do to bring you guys some updated information, not just from my point of view, but from another YouTube collaborator out there who's in the Algorand network and also just in the crypto finance world. I really think this could be beneficial for not only us, but also for you, the viewer. So please let me know in the comment. Do me a favor and smash the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. And let's get into it.
All right, what's good, y'all? It's C-Will back at you with another podcast collaboration. We got a fellow Algonaut here. You want to say what's good, David?
Hey, what's going on? Crypto for Change here. You know my name is David. I say it every single time the video goes.
Yep. So yeah, make sure y'all go check out Crypto for Change YouTube channel, dope channel. He's in the Algorand community. Follow him on Twitter, and we're all gonna grow and blow up together. So today we'd like to talk about first the Algorand ecosystem. We'll touch into Facebook and the metaverse, some Shib. I want to do a little centralized banking talk. I love talking about the banks, and I use that for a reason to get people to go into crypto. So I attack banks. And then crypto and mass adoption, I would like to touch on that subject. A lot of updates is happening.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's blowing up every month, every week. I mean, every day there's something dropping, literally. Crazy.
Algorand ecosystem. So I saw something on Twitter as well. I don't know who, someone tagged me, but I hear you made a video. Can you talk about the love chain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Love Chain was actually pretty cool. I actually started doing a little bit of research after I was, I'd found out some of the projects like Opulus and Yieldly, and I was like, man, like, what's some other cool stuff? Because you always wonder, like, what's the next TikTok? Like, what's the next social media platform that's just going to take the world by storm? Everyone's going to be using it. So I started kind of down that rabbit hole, and then that literally the first thing that popped up was literally there was something being built on Algorand, a social media platform, and I was like, hold up. Like, how did I not know about this? So I think they've been working with Algorand for the past 4 months, he said in the interview I did. But they had, him. Yeah. I did an interview with one of I think he's the marketing guy, Adam. And then I also just did a breakdown of their white paper on my YouTube channel. So kind of that one goes in more depth.
I read that last night.
Yeah. It is awesome. I mean, one of the biggest things right now in, when you use Facebook or Twitter or some of these social media platforms that we have, one of the biggest things I love is the fact that your data right now is gold. And he even mentions that in the interview. It is gold. Like, forget Bitcoin, forget real gold. Like, your data is gold. And the thing is, all these, companies, like, you open an app on your phone, what's the first thing it asks you? Can I have your data?
Data.
Yeah, it doesn't ask for your wallet. It doesn't ask for your wallet. It doesn't ask for your money. It says, can I have your data? And can I track you across all of your other apps that you're using? And that's huge. And you're not getting paid for it. They're just taking your data. They're watching what you click on. They're listening, Alexa, Siri, whatever it is, they got their ears open. They're listening to what you're talking about. And then they use that data to market you to either it's their product, someone else's, a bank's, it's anything. And the Love Chain is going to pay you for your data. So you're going to be paid in that lover token, LOVR, on the application. If you want to, you also have the choice not to, but if you do, you'll be able to earn that. And you can also spend that lover token in the app. I heard that and I was like, that's amazing first.
It's a full circle ecosystem.
Exactly. But then you get into the whole Facebook, especially Facebook right now. It's a
Yeah, we'll get to Facebook.
all right. It's just a cesspool. Some point of just like bots. You don't know who's real. All it is what it is. But Love Chain, with it being built on the blockchain and on Algorand, it's going to be secure, and you're not going to have these fake accounts and all this negativity. It's about love. It's about people coming together, supporting each other. And I think that's huge. And it's something that the social media space desperately needs. They should be the ones building the metaverse.
Man, real talk, because reading the white paper, for one, I was reading it as like an entrepreneur. I was like, damn, if I ever create something like crypto based, I'm gonna study that white paper.
Yeah.
The white paper had every detail of the marketing, like micro influencers. We're a micro influencer. So they're looking for people like us to connect based on our reach to our audiences, how we can break down these concepts and people have trust there. I thought that part was just amazing.
Exactly.
And like you said, the love token, marketplaces on there. We're minting photos, videos onto the blockchain. So we're making it permanent, right? So you got to be careful what you're saying, I guess, right?
Yep.
That's the part I love about the blockchain.
And they're going to be in the NFT. That was something that, reading the white paper, I don't think they had made that update yet. And they're going to be in the NFT space. So you're going to be able to create NFTs out of the content you create and list them there. I mean, it's blowing my mind. I'm ready for it to drop. Love Chain, I'm pretty sure that they're going to drop either early December, I think. So it's not far away. I'm excited for that one for sure.
And I see that then they're also like how Tiny Man got pulled. So what they're doing is going to put some, I believe, algos to back the love token so that it has more value. So we actually have an asset that's, really going. And I've seen they got BNB and ETH, I believe ETH connections that would be on there.
Yeah, I think it's gonna, and that's the thing. Once these bridges get built, I mean, Yieldy wants to do it. Algorand, they want a bridge. They're not gonna make you choose like. If you want to choose Algorand, choose Algorand. If you want to choose Ethereum, choose Ethereum. You want to choose Solana, choose Solana. But there's going to be bridges where you can still interact with other ones. And I think it's kind of like what you see with Opulus. Opulus has its ASA and it also has its ERC20. It's huge. And I think that's why the adoption is a lot faster than, say, a Yieldly or, Smile and some of the others, is because it's only on Algorand. And right now, Algorand's, it's not being pumped, or it's not, they're not trying to pump it. You don't see Silvio out here, posting stuff. He knows what he built. He knows it's one of the best. He doesn't have to get out here and pump it. He's just going to let the tech and the platform speak for itself.
Exactly. And it's like, in this situation, it's like he doesn't even have to speak. He got guys like us going to bat every day.
Exactly.
We're conviction.
Right.
It's like, and this is why I tell people on my channel, I say, go send a transaction on Ethereum, take 2 of your own wallets and send it to yourself. Do it with Bitcoin. Do it with Algorand, do it with Solana, Cosmos, and then you're going to end up running back to Algorand. That's what happened to me. I experiment when some new stuff is out. It's amazing. On the Algorand ecosystem, the love chain is coming. We got AlgoDex, which is like Tiny Man, another decentralized exchange.
Yeah, that one will actually have an order book. So it'll be a little bit different than Tiny Man. I have an interview with the creator of that one as well. We kind of broke down a little bit about how the AlgoDex is going to be different than Tiny Man. So
let's break that down right now. The audience would love to know.
Right. So with Tiny Man, it's a MMA,
automatic market maker.
There you go. Yeah, the word was leaving my mind. But with that, it's people pooling their money together, and they're, obviously they're earning. They're earning that money for them participating in the pools. But then when someone like me or you or one of your, anybody who wants to come and swap, you're using their liquidity that they're adding into the pools to then get it. Whereas with the AlgoDex, that's going to be more of like a traditional, exchange, but still decentralized. There's no entity controlling it. It's still going to be a peer-to-peer transfer of, assets, but it'll have limit orders. I'm pretty sure stop loss, all of that stuff, to where you will be able to, kind of like if you right now. Before Tiny Man, I was buying most of my ASAs on either MEXC Global or Qcoin for Opulus when it first dropped. So, you kind of have that ability to place a limit order. Well, you don't have that with Tiny Man. Tiny Man is just, it shows you the swap. It shows you what your rate's going to be, the slippage, all that stuff. And then you swap and then you see what happens. Obviously it's always pretty close to what it says it's going to be. But with the algo decks, you'll be able to place those more intricate buys, you know, actually go to sleep, put an order in, wake up,
Oh
see
my
if it
God.
fills, which
And
that's awesome.
That's what I need too, because sometimes I can't catch that dip when it dropped down to $1.71. I want to hit that because I know it's going back to $1.90, $2. You can make an
Exactly.
easy flip right there. So
Right.
that's
Yeah.
what I'm excited for sure. Limit orders, stop loss. You know, that reminds me of more of why I like Robinhood, because when I was trading stocks on there, I like to
Right.
put my trailing stop loss so I can, you know,
Exactly.
collect that profit. So we need that for Algorand, and I would
Right.
definitely swing trade way
Except
more.
Robinhood, except there ain't going to be no centralized entity like Robinhood, you know, halting trading.
Yeah,
So
Citadel own Robinhood, so yeah, that's
yeah,
another
yeah,
conversation.
don't get me started on that.
Yeah, so algo. So again, anything else popping in the algo ecosystem before we move over it real quick?
I mean, obviously you got Opulus popping. I mean,
Yep,
that's one I'm following. I've been telling all my, you know,
I've
most of
been
my
talking about that. Yep.
subscribers, be looking out on it, find ways to stake it, earn that passive income, follow them, you know, on Twitter, however you want to. And they're already starting to drop their, or getting ready to drop their copyright backed NFTs. So you can actually already start investing in those artists, Lil Pump, Soldier
Yep.
Boy.
You know what? Let me cut in real, because I
No,
got
you're
beef
good.
though also with Oculus, because I'm an artist as well,
Yeah,
and I know to be early, you know, you got to get your Soldier Boys. You got
right.
to have Soldier Boy on there. He's always early on everything. So shout out to Soldier Boy. He never
Right,
missed. But I want them to open up to the public, basically. You
right.
know what I'm saying? Because people like myself we got 1,000 people that will really rock with us. You know.
Right.
So
And
I guess
I
that's
think it
coming.
will. I think it will. I think just as you saw Yieldly start, so Yieldly started its own thing and it was going to hit the NFT space.
Yep.
And then you saw them tweet out, hey, you know, we
Joint,
want to
yeah.
help all creators. And
Yeah.
then they started marketing other people's NFTs. I think you will see Opulus get to that. I just think they're trying to build the, you know, because obviously, you know, the creator of it, you know, he had Ditto Music. He's already
Yep.
had built something. So he's building a foundation with which, you know, he can help those who were in early, you know, the
Yep.
people who are with Ditto Music, whoever those artists may be. I think it's like 500,000 something.
Yeah,
And
I'm
then
with
obviously,
DistroKid.
yeah. But
Yeah.
that's one project. And obviously Yieldly is one of my favorites. And you got all kinds of other ones. Folks Finance is coming out soon.
Oh, I covered yesterday ARCC. I
Yeah,
think that one is important. I dove in a little bit more on the website, just like on my personal time, even stuff I
right.
didn't show in my video. But it's a know your customer site as well, and it
Yeah.
helps out with Southeast Asia. And of course, we know the Southeast Asian market is huge.
Oh yeah.
It's
Massive.
huge. Yeah. So like even in like Africa too, we could talk about it later. But the Nara, they're that part of the world are mostly Android users,
Right.
and they're building these systems to, you know, be with Android phones and all that. We're mostly iPhone over here on the west side.
Right.
Um, Still the same blockchains, and I see that ARCC, that coin is low. It's about like 0.8 cent or something like that.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
see that coin going up because microfinancing is something I've been studying for a while. How to
Yeah.
get small pieces of Tesla stock without being on the NASDAC
Yeah.
exchange or one of these
It's like
exchanges.
something, you know, I know we're going to talk a little bit about Shib.
Yeah, we got to talk
in
about
a
shit.
minute,
Yeah.
but it's funny because everybody, you know, I feel like so many people, they gravitate towards something like a Shib or something like a Doge when it was
Yep.
early on because of it's worth 0.00000, and then you put a number and they
I
think,
call
well,
it
if it can,
technology, man.
right. And
Because
they think
people
if it
don't
can just get
understand
to a
market caps.
penny,
Yep.
I'll be a millionaire. But like, if you really think of it, take Bitcoin, but then think of it how Bitcoin is broke down. A Satoshi. How many Satoshis can you buy with $1? Way more than if you think if you're thinking Bitcoin, one Bitcoin is 60. I can't afford it. It doesn't matter. You can buy fractions of it. And then what happens when a Satoshi starts to climb all the way up? And it does the same thing, you know,
Yep.
and I think it's just you know, there's a lot of, you know, it's a mental game. It's really what it comes down to.
What I see is some smart people, right? We're not in their target market because we are like fundamental investors by
Right.
being an Algorand. You got to have some type of fundamental to go there.
Right.
So Doge, what I seen was Doge. Yeah, we can move into Doge and Sheeb right
Yeah,
now.
let's
So
do it. Let's
with
go.
Doge, like I even had some Doge at 0.006 just to try it. I was like, this is crazy. And then I'm understanding, you know, I sold it when it went up, but I was like,
Yeah.
fuck, you know what I mean?
I'll beat out that story. I bought it last November. I didn't even know what it was. Like, I'll throw $1,000 at it. I had over 500,000 Doge coins. before Elon Musk's tweet, before his tweet.
So you'd have been a Doge millionaire.
I could have been, but I obviously sold when it started to pump just a little bit. I sold, took my little profit, and then obviously not even 2 weeks later, you know, or maybe a month later, a month and a half was the Saturday Night Live skit. Whereas if I would have held that, I'd have had over 300 grand.
Yeah, it went up to 70 cents. And that, so what I see, which genius marketing, right? I went on this fucking long binge the other night on Coin Market Cap, and they got these coins that are like, oh, 1,000% up, 2,000. I was like, what is going on?
Right.
Every single coin is a clone of Doge and Shiba now, where they're all 0.00001, and then they're fully like only marketing. I'm looking at their rollout plans. They're like, oh, we're just gonna market and you know, blow it up, kill Doge. So what they're doing is taking a non-savvy investor and using marketing tactics to get them to put their money in. What they're doing is, and they're getting
it's kind of like, you know, it's a gateway crypto if you want to basically you want to use it. But the thing is, it's like, here's what I would say. And obviously I didn't live through the .com crash. I didn't see, you know, I wasn't, you know, I was so young, I wasn't there to live through the .com crash. But if you ask people, and I've talked to many people who are at, you know, at our apartment complex when I'm at the pool, and that they lived through it, they invested through the .com crash. It's similar. The fear of the internet was so strong. No one knew what it was. There were literally .coms for everything. Marriage.com, ilovepets.com.
Yeah, I remember.
Obviously, Amazon.com. You know, there were the big ones, but there were also tons and tons and tons of stuff that was just whatever they could put in front of .com was created. And you're seeing that again with crypto. Anything that can be created, anything that can be marketed, and anything that people will buy is being created and getting sold to, you know, the people. And so that's why I do see an eventual crypto crash coming. You know, I don't talk about it on my channel because I want people to understand fundamentals. I don't try to spread fear in the market. That's why I just want you to find good projects that even if a crash does come, like even if you bought Amazon at its highest peak back in 2000, the .com bubble, and you held it till now, you'd still make a killing. And that's what I'm saying with projects like Algorand, I'd even say Bitcoin and other ones that are out there. If you're invested in solid projects with good fundamentals, you know, you can weather any crash. But when the crash comes, Shib Doge, I mean, I have no idea. It's, you know, I don't even try to make those, you know, guesses on who's going to make it and who's not. I mean, I just don't want to have that much risk. I have a little Doge still, tiny amount. If it runs to $1, I'm selling, I'm gone, and it's all going to Algorand.
Because that's where I'm at too. It's like, where are we at? So in April of this year, between February and April, we're at all-time highs for just about every crypto. You know, of course, I wasn't selling. I believe I'm a long-term investor. But I'm waiting. Then at one point after that crash, my portfolio was down about 25%, 30%. I was like, whoo. And, you know, of course, I bought more and I stayed down. Now I'm up 60, 70%.
Exactly.
And that's the game what I try to teach people on my channel, which my first experience came with XRP. I bought XRP last winter at like 50 cents. I was like, fine, I'm about to go in. I bought a whole bunch and it crashed down to 17 cents. I almost lost my shit. That was when I was more newer. I was like, oh my God, I just lost 2/3 of my value. But I stayed down. I waited. Now my XRP is double. I never buy any more because, you know, the SEC case. But when I did buy, it doubled, and I can see it only doubling and triple from there. So it is about, I always make sure, like, talk to people at long-term investing. And if you got a short-term play like Shib or Doge, do it, but be ready to sell it and take profits, though. That's the big mistake that people
I had
make.
a guy here who's at my apartment complex. I hang out with him almost every Thursday, help him go through, you know, get stuff if he's looking to get it, because he's older. He doesn't really understand all the technicals of how to stake, and he's learning. But, you know, he had Shib. He put like 1,100 in it. I was calling him crazy. It ran up to like 5,000-7,000. And like yesterday, I was like, dude, you better take some of that profit, and let's like, you don't have to put it in cash. Like, take it and let's roll it into, you know, you can put some into some other things. He put some Yieldly, he got some Algorand, he got some Opulus, but then he's like, but then a little bit of the extra, he bought another one of these crazy coins, and he's already up another 100%. So like, that's how crazy the market is right now. People are out here, have no idea what is going on, and they're making money. And so you have to be careful. And that's why I try to teach people dollar cost averaging into fundamentally good cryptos. Like, find something you can get behind, something you understand, and that actually has a team or a, a purpose behind it.
Yep.
And dollar cost average into it, enjoy the runs. And if you want to take some profit, but find those projects that are good for the long run, not just ones that are, just pumping and just trying. Yeah. Hype. Exactly.
I got a friend, like I've been trying to teach him. He's been learning, but he like only buy when he hear it. And I'm like, please do not. Cause if you're
hearing about it, there's a reason.
Yeah. And it's like Doge is at, he like, what Shib get to? They was like, oh, if Shib get to one like 0.001, I'll buy it. I was like, so you want Shib to 3x more than it already has, then you'll buy it. You're fully insane. You're gonna be holding it back. So I'm like, so I'm teaching them, buy when we're all afraid, buy when the blood is red on the charts. Right. That's when you buy, and you sell when it's green. It's a hard concept for people to understand. It is,
because it fights against your mentality. It's all a psychological game, especially if you're staring at your charts every day, or if you're looking at your crypto every day. Like I used to do that back early. That's why I sold Doge for $200 profit where I could have held it and made 300K. You have to, you got to build a psychology in your head that starts to knock out all this, what the world's trying to say and all the news and everything like that. Cause back then I was making dumb trades. I'd buy something when it ran, sell at a loss, get pissed, and then almost want to get out of the market entirely. And then I started watching some people on YouTube. Stockmo was one of them, where I started learning, okay, dollar cost averaging. I can buy something, and then, if it tanks, but I still believe in it and the fundamentals of it, whether it's a stock, whatever the asset is, stock, crypto, if I believe in it, like Tesla or, Algorand, if it drops 20%, I actually see value there. And whereas before I was just mad, I was like, man, like I just lost 20% of my, $100, $1,000, whatever it is. Exactly. And then you're mad and you chase. And then when you chase, that's where you lose your back. You lose everything.
Yeah, you get wrecked. Cause it's like overall, what I see, you get higher returns from just long-term investing.
Exactly. Oh, for sure.
At the end of the day, it's improving.
If you even try, if you want to make the case that you're a day trader and you make money, let's really take a look at your capital gains. Let's take a look at your fees at the end of the year, and let's really see how much you're going to make over me.
Yeah,
long-term investor.
Yeah, exactly. Because when you long-term investing, we're not worried about capital gains. We're not worried about none of that. And then especially with crypto, it's amazing. Like I explained to people, I'm like, it's like imagine your house just produces little houses for you weekly, daily, yearly, and that's what crypto is. Yeah. And then they grow up and become grown houses. So it's like there's nothing.
I like that analogy.
Yeah. And it's like, it's nothing better than that. All right. Can we move over to Facebook and the metaverse?
Yeah, let's get it.
So y'all, let's set the scene. So as we know, Facebook has a lot of data cases.
Put my Oculus Rift on real quick.
Exactly. Facebook, for one, shut down a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
people don't know.
It's with Instagram and WhatsApp, which I think are all owned by Facebook.
Yep. So Facebook, the conglomerate, owns Oculus, as you just said.
Yep.
They own Instagram, they own WhatsApp, and I might be missing something else, right? So they're a titan in this game. So they're centralized and they have a lot of data scandals. They're stealing our data.
Oh yeah, isn't it funny? They all went down. I mean,
they all went down.
It's all
so they're selling our data. They got whistleblowers right now.
Yeah.
And then what he do? He rebrands.
Exactly. just like anyone would do to get, to make people think, oh, it's not Facebook anymore.
It's not Facebook.
It's the Meta. And I think it's going to change.
Johnson just did this too, but go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's going to change. I think December 1st or is it November 1st that the ticker's changing?
I think it's soon. Yeah, I think
it's real soon. But I've obviously, some of my videos, I've talked about Decentraland, which is a crypto. The ticker for that's MANA. And obviously there, like, you'll be able to buy, using that, you'll be able to buy digital land in the metaverse. Like, just think of that. Like, okay, like I don't even like when I tell this to people, like it's that meme, like the girl like staring at her mom and her mom's like just like in the bed, like, just like I have no idea what you're freaking saying. Like that's how it gets when I start talking to people about the metaverse, because I'm like, imagine like you're in the metaverse, so you put your Oculus Rift on. I don't even know if it's gonna have that little treadmill thing you walk on. I hope it does.
It's coming. I want it.
But yeah, you're walking around. Say I want to be Iron Man, or say I want to be, a lizard, or a I don't even know, whatever skin avatar you want to be, you can be that. And then you're walking around and you want to go shopping in the metaverse. You will be able to do that. Yep. You will be able to see digitally,
physical.
digital physical stores that you'll be able to walk into. You could like,
it's crazy.
you think
Look,
about art gallery. Think of the
yeah,
NFT scene. Think about art galleries right now. People literally walk into art galleries to buy art. You will be able to walk into digital art
it's
rooms
crazy.
that are showing NFTs. Like that stuff
purchase
isn't
it.
even, yeah, that's not even really being talked about. But like, if you build the metaverse, that's what's gonna like. It's gonna be.
Let's break this down a little bit deeper with the audience. So
Yeah.
metaverse, meta is just a word that means beyond, right?
Yeah.
So metaverse is we're beyond our verse that we're in, our
Exactly.
universe, right? So we're in the digital
world. It's a new digital world.
And then it's a shared digital world. So every time I walk in, as you were saying, I can go back to that same art store. It'll be on that same block in the digital world every single time. And if someone owns that studio, you know, they can charge tickets and access. There's so many things that can happen.
You could have a concert. You could have a
Exactly.
concert.
I'm about to be in a concert soon.
Yeah.
Like in the metaverse, right?
Yeah.
And they have
I think they actually did it. Decentraland had a party and they had like
there's more things happening. People in the algo community are starting to do it. People reaching out. They're doing I forgot what the app is called, but they're doing freestyle battles and shit in the metaverse. Someone built a stage. I just went and toured it the other day, which is like what?
Right.
Never left the house. But yeah, so they're building and they got performers on the screens. Everybody's in there dancing with their avatars. People are talking, and I'm like it's just insane. But that's where we're at. So what Facebook is doing, they're taking Facebook and saying we're not a social media, we're beyond social media. We're now a metaverse company. So they've got Oculus that they've been building. They got the Ray-Ban glasses. They're doing if you heard of HoloLens, so we'll be getting these new technology where it's kind of like Iron Man. They're overlaying digital world overlaying in our
almost like a Star Wars, like, you know, Ben Solo, I need your help, like a little
holograms and shit.
I think he showed even on the video for the meta, like, you know, you could have fencing, you know, you could do fencing with someone who's across the world, you
lightsaber battles. I played Oculus. With the Oculus they got Star Wars integration.
You can, it's going to, and here's the thing, like, obviously it's scary. I mean, thinking about this, it can be scary. It can be, you know, I don't know what all is going to come through it, but it also is, there is good in it with just the ability to connect with the world on a much, you know, faster, you know, speed, and also just I would say a more real, but obviously it's, everything's gonna be digital. It's gonna be kind of interesting because, you know, if I'm in the metaverse, I'm probably not going to be looking like myself. So it's really going to be hard to tell, you know, who you're even interacting with, which I think is pretty cool because it will start to destroy barriers between the world's borders. Because like if you watch the movie Ready Player One, Steven Spielberg, that one is something that, like, the characters inside, they have no idea what their real life person, the character is, and then when they meet them, they're like, holy cow, like
they have
I wouldn't hang out with you if this was real world, because my prejudice, and when I see you, you know, I may be prejudiced and I may judge you and not want to be around you. But in the metaverse, how, you know, what do you know?
That movie is funny. Good to point that out, because their group was so diversified from Ready Player One. Even one of the guys was a kid, and no one knew that it was a 12-year-old or whatever that was. Then the lady that was a guy was actually a girl in the real back end. So it is these things where, like, even for you, I didn't know what the hell you looked like. Until I started looking at your YouTube. Oh, okay. And, so Twitter did that to me. I'm talking to all these people. I'm so comfortable with someone who doesn't have a face, that's some emoji or avatar, DMing me, and we're chopping it up.
Most profile pictures now are NFTs. I mean, if they're in the crypto community. I mean, even Silvio McCauley changed his. I have my profile picture as one of the Algo Sayans. It's actually
in the light.
It's made in that. You should get on Algo Sayans. It's made in the likeness of Seb Quinn, who's one of the creators of Yieldly. But, you know, Sean Ford bought one of the Algo Sayans and made it his profile picture. Silvio McCauley bought one, made it his profile picture. It is interesting to see how the world is evolving. And I know a lot of people say, you know, this isn't going to happen the way it is. But I think most people who are saying that are people who are thinking, people older than me. Like, I'm almost 30, you know, people in their 40s and above, even I would say 30s and above, you know, you may be right. They may not be as excited about the metaverse and as excited about crypto or all this digital stuff. They may think, no, physical is where it's at. I'm living in the physical world. And that's great and all. But guess what? Our parents didn't like smartphones. But what did we like?
Exactly.
We loved our smartphones. They didn't like video games. What did we like? We liked our
Exactly.
video games.
So I'm 32. You 29?
28, about to turn 29.
So we're just about we're in the same generation, and it was
Exactly.
like, yeah. Since I'm a little older, I did come from the world just few years old, right? Where there were pagers and all that. Well, shit, you're not that far away from that either. So we seen pagers and everything. But when I was in elementary school, the MacBook dropped where we had those colored MacBooks playing.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, and then from there it kept advancing. And like when you were talking about the dot-com boom, I remember watching Dexter's Laboratory, Cartoon Network.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But so we are that generation, and now we're grown, and we're
But
not going back.
You got to think of like, if I have kids, if you have kids, I don't know if you have any kids yet. And our kids, as they grow up, and even as they're growing up now, they're growing up very different than I did. I mean, some kids, like my niece and nephews, literally are in first grade, second grade, and they are not even, with COVID going through that, they were at home doing school. So that's different too. So they're they're going to be so inundated into the internet and into the web 3.0, you know, the next version of the internet. All they're going to know, not all they're going to know, but they won't even,
we could damn near say
they won't know social media the way we know social media. No, social media will be so different.
Like
that's the thing, is just how fast it moves.
Yeah, they were talking about they won't know banks. They won't really actually know damn neir physical sports or
they may not even know cash. I mean, think of that.
Think about, I was like, these kids, they like
these kids, we're already talking like we're 80-year-olds sitting on a porch or rocking chairs.
Yeah, but that's how it feels. And I feel young as hell, because it's our generation who started with millennials and whatnot. But like I tell my mom and them, I'm like, y'all didn't have iPhones, and that's like all we know. Like I feel weird if I'm not on my computer or on my phone now. So like you said,
they throw tantrums if they don't have that iPad, iPhone in their face. They don't need it, but because it's so easy to keep them occupied and keep, releasing that, hormone in our body, I think dopamine or whatever it is. You know, that one, I mean, that's literally what most social medias captivate on. It's the likes
get us going.
Exactly. The attention, just watching someone do something. I mean, there's literally kids who would rather watch a kid on YouTube play with toys than actually play with the toy themselves. And I mean, I play League of Legends. I'm a gamer to some extent still. I would literally sit and watch a whole hour-long video of a guy playing League of Legends in a certain character. It's interesting. And that's something that, like, my parents, I'm sure your parents, they never would have thought that. But that's why, as an investor, as someone who's getting into crypto maybe, or someone who's learning about this new meta, if you're investing in it early, you have to have long-term thinking. You have to think, what are my kids and their kids going to be using? Because that's the key right there. And if you do that, you can build generational wealth. You can take small amounts of money now, and by the time your kids are grown or whatever it is, it could be worth millions.
Yeah, let's talk about this. I'm looking at my notes. What you said is key. What we're saying is we're not investing into now, we're investing into what's to come, right?
Exactly.
And then, like, so example, our parents and them should have been investing in banks and community credit unions and whatnot. So now what we're investing in is the digital versions of these banks.
Right.
And so centralized to a decentralized, our money is going decentralized now.
Right.
So eventually, like I seen MasterCard just put in that basically everybody in their network can start selling crypto and doing crypto things. Visa's already doing it. I have a crypto.com Visa card.
Yeah, right? I have my Coinbase card. I use it.
So these things are happening. I took out a loan on the Nexo app. So instead of going into the bank and saying, hey, here's my pay stubs, here's my history, here's my whole fucking life on a piece of paper.
Exactly.
Nexo was like, how much Bitcoin or XRP you got? I said, cool. And I borrowed half against it, and there was no questions asked. Don't pay me back whenever you pay me back. So that's where we're at. And that's what we need to be investing in. And for us coming from my history, I mean, I worked at a credit union for 6 years. Well, almost 7 if you include both of them. I was working for a mortgage company for about 8 months. But I did loans. I did everything in the finance world, centralized. And another side that, you may not touched on there, but when it comes to the ease of being approved and knowing that you're approved, like if I go in and I have the collateral, if I qualify for the loan, it's on a smart contract. It's going to tell me
you're approved. Boom.
Yep.
It's going to give me the money I need. And obviously I can pay it back as, you know, whatever the platform that I'm buying it on structures it to be paid back as. And there are certain, you know, you can get really far depth in detail, but just staying on a surface level, I can't tell you how many times someone would call me. I'm in my cubicle, taking a loan application, whatever it may be. I take all their information. Like you said, you give them your whole life story, everything. And then they may need, you know, the underwriters, the people who are going to review it, they may need additional documentation. So then I got to call you back and get even more stuff. But even when I would send those over, and this is just where it gets to the evils of banking, when I would send those things over, I already knew some people were going to get denied before I even sent it. And it wasn't because they didn't qualify. It was because their zip code. It was because
I was going to bring that up.
Yeah, it was because, I mean, and as much as we think we've moved past redlining and racial profiling in banking, we haven't. Like, I will say the credit union I worked for was doing some amazing things that I don't think many banks would do. They were purposely going into certain neighborhoods that historically had been redlined. And if people don't know what redlining is, pretty much just means banks back in the day literally used to take a map of a city that they were in and they would draw a line around a neighborhood or an area and say either A, we're not going to go there. We're not going to offer, if anyone from that area tries to get financing, they're denied. Or they would target that area and say, this is an area that's they're not versed in money and finance. So we're going to give them deals, but the deals are only going to benefit us. And so coming from that, and that's why I haven't gone back into the finance world. Like, I literally, I got chills right now just talking about it because like it got me so mad when I would hear the underwriters come over and talk to me, and they're older than me, and they, you know, maybe they have prejudices for certain reasons or whatever it is, but like human error in that would make me so frustrated because it's like, these are humans. They're not, you know, these are people that live in our community that if you live next door to them and they ask for a loan, you'd have a whole different perspective. But just because you don't know them, you treat them different based on whatever factor it is. And when you take a crypto blockchain like Algorand and stuff like Folks Finance being built on it, you know, the one you used that you said you were able to get the loan, it is a smart contract. You put in the information, and if you have the collateral for the loan, approved. Doesn't matter if you're black, white, Asian, you know, Korean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you live. If you're approved, you're approved. And I think that's why I got behind it. When I saw that, I was like, I got to get out here, create a YouTube channel that's not about pump. You know, I'm not about hype. I mean, there are tons of coins that I'm hyped about, but like, I want people to understand fundamentals. And then because with a centralized bank, you take your money there, you give them your money, they're lending it out. They're making money off you every single day.
Let's talk about that, because what people understand, they take this money, and most credit cards would be like a 15% APY or profit that they're making, but they're paying us 0.006.
Exactly.
And it's been proven.
Because they're not paying us. They're paying their shareholders.
Exactly.
That's who they're paying.
Exactly.
Yeah, we don't get any benefit.
And even as a retail investor, we didn't get in early enough as these corporate shareholders got in, you know, the ones that's making the rules on the board. Like we talk about, they say you can vote when you're a shareholder, you're voting on nothing. You're voting on nothing. When you're voting as an Algorand governor, you actually voting on something that matters. Like, your vote counts to change the future of where it can go. Yes. And you can, and obviously with its whole pure proof of stake, we won't get into all that, but if you go to the Algorand Foundation's website and you read a little bit about that, it's way better than what Ethereum is even trying to build to, what Bitcoin is at, because it really is decentralized. It doesn't leave like most centralized banks. Even Bitcoin, I think, is pretty much controlled by 2 mining pools. Ethereum is controlled by about 3. That's not decentralized. That's centralized. Ethereum 2.0 is so bad that you need, I think it was like,
you have to have a
35, 32 ETH.
32.
That's like over 100 grand.
100 grand right now.
A validator, and then once that price doubles, you need 250 grand to. Again,
and even if you want to, and people will say, well, you can just pool with somebody else. Well, then A, you're splitting rewards, and B, you have to trust that the person who's running that pool doesn't do anything to, you know, pretty much
foul play, as they say. you know, or
Exactly.
go offline, or, you know, so then
Exactly.
they slash rewards. It's just like, it's just chaos
Yeah.
for a slow ass blockchain.
Yeah.
I
Oh yeah.
sent some,
And high expensive,
yeah, I
you
sent some
know,
USDC to
forking.
myself. 40 minutes later, I'm nervous. Like, where's my money at?
Exactly. And that's
Like,
why
what?
it blows my mind that so many people are running from the centralized bank to Ethereum. Like you're running from,
Might as well stay at the bank. You're gonna pay less
right?
fees at the bank.
Exactly. The
Like,
fees at the bank are cheaper than Ethereum right now to
and they're
send money.
faster.
Exactly. So yeah, it
Yeah.
to me it doesn't make sense, and that's why I'm excited that there's guys like you, me, teaching things that are out here, not just Algorand. I mean,
Yeah.
Algorand's
Yeah, I talk
amazing.
about passive income, but Algorand
Exactly.
happened, my channel is Passive Income Network, and the
Right.
goal is to find people like you and vice versa that can go on, and so they don't hear me talking about it every day. These are
Right.
experts. I call you an expert. There's experts around the world that are tapping in, and we're talking about the same thing. And
Right.
you know, when we're on this internet, I'm finding more like-minded people via this internet and this damn camera more than I do in the real
Right.
life out there.
It's the
Like,
law of attraction.
yeah,
People don't know the law of attraction.
yeah.
It's like me back when I was working at as a mortgage underwriter, man, or a loan originator. I was making so much money. The only thing I could think about was me getting my dream car I wanted, Porsche 911. Like,
Yeah.
and you talking about, I saw every single time I was on the street, I saw it. Like it didn't pass me without
Yep.
me noticing it. And that's the law of attraction. And it's like whatever you focus on,
That's what you
that's
get.
what you're going to have. And so
Yep.
if you want passive income, if you want financial freedom, which is what passive income will bring you, and that's
Yep.
ultimately what everybody wants. They want
Everybody.
financial freedom. You get that. And if you focus on that, you'll be way happier than you are right now, no
Yep.
matter how much income you have. Because trust me, I had the income. I was
Yep.
making over 6 figures and I was miserable.
Yep.
Miserable.
My best
Now I'm
job
not
too.
making nothing.
Yeah.
I'm on YouTube
I'm
right
happy.
now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my channel noticed so that I can start making some money, but I'm happy,
No, hey, same. I was working in the film industry, you know, 12 to 15 hours a day, making the best money I ever made, running the
Yeah.
crew. And I was like, I'm fucking unhappy
Yeah,
because I was like, fuck this money. I need to be free. And then
exactly.
when I started investing, like really locking in and understanding, especially with crypto, we getting yields that pay out every single day. I was like,
Right.
okay, I put my dollar in here and I was, oh, we got appreciation plus a yield.
Yeah.
And if it goes down, I just got to be patient. There's
Right.
nothing better than that.
Right. I mean, right now, I think probably just with staking crypto, and I'm not someone who has hundreds of thousands of
Me either.
dollars in
Working
crypto. I
on it.
mean, yeah, one day, but not
Yeah.
right now. But still, I probably earn about anywhere between $5 to $10 a day in passive income that's been staked in crypto. Now, obviously, most of those are in volatile assets, cryptos that can move up and down. So some days it's 10, some days it may be 5, but it's still passive income that as these assets grow, that $5 to $10 I'm earning today could be $100, $200 a day. And that's where
I
it's
mean,
like,
it's highly likely to be.
very, very likely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where, that's why I try to tell
Good
people about
segue.
Algorand.
Can we segue?
Yeah.
Crypto mass adoption. So I see these notes right now. India has went back on their crypto ban. They're bringing it back out.
Yep.
The US has basically is like letting everything slide through. We see the Bitcoin
For
ETF
now.
for now, right?
Yeah.
But too many billionaires own it, so they have to follow what billionaires say, right?
Yeah. China, I think, is about to unban
China,
mining of Bitcoin.
UK has done it, and now Nigeria has dropped the Nara. So it's like all these sovereign nations that have the bag, they're
Right.
seeing that they can't stop crypto, so now they're figuring out a way to facilitate it.
Right.
What do you feel about all this?
Right. I mean, I would say, it's all, I'm not going to say we're in the matrix, but there is a sense where it's programming. I mean, China banned Google, China banned Facebook, China banned, I mean, name something that China has not banned at some point. That's more
because they banned Americans.
Yeah, that's pretty much the harder thing to find. But the thing is, countries that have banned it, and even if the US were to try to ban it, it's all meant for certain things to happen behind the scenes. So as this mass adoption starts to take place, and you're going to see it in I think the stat I pulled maybe a month or so ago was like 20 something, maybe 25% of Americans right now own crypto in some form or fashion.
Wow.
But you have to think, out of that 25%, how many of them actually know what the heck they bought? Because most of them probably just bought SHIB. Most of them are buying Bitcoin because it's on the news, or Ethereum because it's on the news. They have no idea what they're buying. And then out of the ones who say they know, let's say I give it maybe 5%, probably a lot less than that. How many of them really know and are using it? Like you maybe would be.
We're using it.
Exactly. Not just owning it, but using it to our advantage. And that number is even more drastically low. So they have, if, you know, as the infrastructure gets built, you know, as Algorand's infrastructure is being built behind the scenes, you know, the big news with El Salvador accepting Bitcoin, most people didn't pay attention. The next day, El Salvador said they're going to build the backbone pretty much of their crypto infrastructure on Algorand. You didn't hear about that because they didn't want you to hear about it yet. But as the infrastructure gets built to where it's more useful for not only banks to be able to benefit, because they're going to, they have to.
Yeah, they got to get
but the people can benefit and can have security in it, just like the internet. It had to go through that phase of like all the hype, and then it crashed, and then they're like, okay, it's still good, and here's why it's good. And then you're going to have that next, you know, the eventual run up to where it just keeps going. And so you will have a mass adoption. I think there's going to be a lot of new people flooding into the market this winter because COVID's starting to go down. If you've not noticed, I mean,
it's going down.
The news right now is kind of chilling out. I mean, obviously you got the crisis right now. Pretty much the main thing I think is the shortage. You know, all those ships sitting out in the ocean.
That's a plan too. They're doing that shit.
It is. It's planned out there, but you don't have the fear that you had like last year. People not being able to go see their loved ones, at least not as much. So I think what you're going to see with this year's adoption and why this run is going to continue, I think, is what is everyone going to be talking about at Thanksgiving, Christmas? Well, everybody's going to be talking about it at Thanksgiving is crypto. Everybody's going to have someone in the family who's like, I made, you know, $10,000 on Shib. Like everybody's
that's me. I'm like, calling my family, you know.
And in between Thanksgiving and Christmas, you're going to have everybody trying to set up those accounts, you know, help their parents, help everybody kind of learn more. So you're going to see a huge onboarding. I think, you know, what happens when there's a lot of new money, you know, inundated into a market. Normally you see a pullback because the whales are taking profit.
Oh yeah, because they've been in early.
Oh yeah.
And what I'm excited for is when they let 401ks start to invest in cryptocurrency.
Right. And typically I did actually have a Bitcoin IRA a couple months ago. Now I did move it out of there because I didn't, you know, that was when I didn't really understand as much. But now that I know how to control my crypto and I honestly can manage it better, I would say
I feel the same way.
I closed it, but you can actually open up
you can now
Bitcoin IRAs.
But this is the key. Crypto. We're gonna be at these 401ks, right? When people are at their jobs, they're not even gonna know they're investing in crypto. It's just gonna be another fund for the most part. And that's what I understand. What they say when blockchain adoption is that the main people, like the main population, they won't know they're even using blockchain.
Oh no, they won't.
That's once we get to that level, like you and I know, the people that know, and we're the ones that are gonna be really rich too.
That's the thing, and it's sad. Like coming from a banking industry, like I've seen all sorts of people from the super wealthy to the people who don't have anything on, you know, and they're homeless and they just maybe get some Social Security from the government or whatever it may be. The wealth gap is going to get bigger. It's sadly, it's sad, but that's why I still think there has to be people like me, like you, that are out here letting people know to try to get as many people on board as we can. And even once we make it to that next level status of however wealthy we are, we have to give back. We have to be ready to bring people up, because people that are not using crypto, you're going to be one day. Like, I mean, if you don't think you are, if you don't think you are, I mean, you pretty much already are. I mean, the dollar is pretty much digital. I mean, yes, cash is still there, but if it wasn't for my wife getting tips, because she's a hairstylist, we would never touch cash. We literally would not touch, even come in our house.
Listen, the only time I touch cash is when I go to the weed shop that tip.
Exactly.
That's like kind of it at this point. It's like, because they accept, you know, I smoke weed here and there, but they just only accept cash. So that's the reason, like, I have no reason to give someone cash.
Exactly. So everything's already digital. They're already priming you and building you up to use it. And I mean, like I said, let me grab it here, but I use this Coinbase debit card, USDC.
I was like, where's mine? I got my crypto.com card.
Yeah, I transfer it from my bank account and I swipe it. It's obviously it's connected with Visa, but I swipe it and I pay in USDC and I earn 4% of the graph tokens right now. So it's like,
let's go.
Right. So we're the ones who are using it to our advantage. And you know, obviously there will be people who end up using it, just like people who hated the internet. And I'm sure I wasn't there, but I'm sure there were tons of haters and people that were spreading FUD about it. Guess what? You still use the internet. You know, people who hated smartphones, they hate them, you still use it.
Yeah, it's like if you don't tune in, you're just actually an idiot because it's happening.
You're like you're in the matrix, but you're not even trying to grab that thing off the back of your head. You know, you ain't trying to unplug.
Because it's like it's 100% happening. And again, like for us here, you're in Florida, I'm in Oregon. We're talking in different time zones. Our mind is on cryptocurrency. We're making passive income. There's nothing better than that. Like eventually, we're gonna escape this fully system. I'm gonna be in the woods somewhere with solar, right? Connected to Starlink, trading crypto, talking on YouTube, and no one's seen me in years.
Yeah,
that's
literally
what's happening.
I mean, exactly. I mean, and even as that happens, and you know, Musk built his Starlink system, and I mean, they want to get the internet everywhere because I mean, there's actually a TED talk of Charles Hoskinson, which the creator of Cardano, co-creator of Ethereum back in the day, but I think it's like based in 2016. He talks about, you know, the unbanked right now, or at that time in 2016, I think he said the banked is like represents 3 billion people in the world, and the unbanked is 4 billion.
Yeah.
So
you know what? Shit, the internet is not even mature yet. People don't understand.
No.
We still have 3/4
all
of
crypto
the
is
world.
is just an advancement of the internet. It's just it's the web 3.0, and that's where, you know, if you want to, you know, don't get too scared when you read about the web 3.0, but it's just going to be more connected, faster, more secure, which it needs to be. And it's going to make many people wealthy. I mean, you're already seeing it. You see kids in California and New York and big cities driving Lamborghinis, and you ask them, you know, that guy runs up to them, what do you do for a living? And they're like, oh, I trade crypto on a daily basis. And you're like,
hey, I'm not going to put my numbers out there either, but honestly, I didn't have no money until crypto.
Yeah.
To keep it 100, I'm like, you know, so it's like I turned a little bit of money that I had from working and was over. Now it's way bigger. And then my foresight is like, shit, I can double up this and triple this.
Exactly.
You know,
if you have that long-term thinking of 5, 10, 15 years, it's huge. I'll say this too. There was a article that I read that pretty much said like people who they did a survey and they took someone, they said, all right, I want you to picture yourself right now. Hooked all the wires up their head and like, you know, tracking all the brain activity. Said, think about yourself right now, what you're going to do right when you leave here. Brain was firing up. You know, they're picturing them walking out, you know, going, doing whatever. They said, all right, now I want you to picture what a stranger's doing today. Like someone you don't know. Brain pretty much activity is dead. Like they could not imagine someone they didn't know. And then, or they even said like, think of someone in your dreams or something like that. And then they said, all right, now I want you to picture your future self. What's your future self doing 10 years from now? The brain activity was the same as when they were envisioning a stranger than when they were envisioning themselves. Wow. And what that says, and that's the reason why most people don't invest in the future. They actually we don't see ourselves as, you know, we can't relate to our future self.
That's crazy.
And that's why
my brain activity in the future will be like triple what it is right now. I'm a futurist.
Yeah.
You know,
but that's people who are actively thinking and who can invest. But the people who can't invest, it tends to be because they don't associate with their future self. It's hard to.
Facts. That's a good point out, because like when I was 21, right, I came up with some money. I was in a car accident, and then I was running around talking to any and everybody I knew. What could I do with this money? Yeah. They said invest, and I was like, what the fuck does that mean? They told me nothing, right?
Right.
Buy a house, buy some real. I was like, what is this even? I'm 21, so I didn't figure it out. So over the years, that's what I've been doing, trying to study and figure it out. And then I thank my younger self because he made me here today.
Right.
And then now, like we said, this future thing, now I'm planning the 40-year-old version of myself as a master at this, right?
Right.
So,
and it may not even be crypto. Man,
it could be anything.
So much bigger.
I didn't know what crypto was.
Yeah, Algorand could literally go away tomorrow. Now, obviously, I don't think that's going to happen.
It's going to be something.
It could, and guess what? People like you, people like me, will be fine. We'll figure it out. We'll find, it's just like Facebook. Facebook could be gone tomorrow. Guess what? It's about to
MySpace
be Meta.
Meta's
exactly. But
yeah, so I'm just saying, like, what people got to understand, audience, if y'all listening, please protect yourself in the future. You know what I mean? And the best way to do that is investing in assets long term.
I wrote this quote down before getting on here. It's a song I was listening to by NF. He's a rapper.
I know NF. Yep.
Yeah, but it's when I grow up, he said I could go to college, get in debt like everybody else, graduate and probably get a job that doesn't pay the bills. That'll make a lot of sense to me. Forget the Happy Meals. I don't like the dollar menu. I would rather make a meal. Huh? Make a meal? Nah, I said make a meal. Home cooking, get the grill how you want it pretty well. I mean,
Well said.
listen, there is so much out here, especially right now in the crypto and in the NFT and all this stuff. You don't have to do what the world is trying to teach you to. You can get out there, you can take control of your future, and you can create the life you want as long as you're willing to put in the time, effort, energy, whatever it may be. You know,
Boom, ball,
exactly.
mic
Drop mic. Yeah. Mic drop right there.
100%, man. 100%. And we out here, you know. I would say, like, just watch for y'all out here. Watch YouTubers like us. We're regular guys. I'm a regular guy. I was, you know, went to school, college. When I was 18, they made me sign this fucking loan, right? To go to school. I didn't know what a subsidized or unsubsidized means. I didn't know what an APY was. I didn't know what none of that meant, and they made me sign it. But now, as we're in the future, I'm telling y'all, don't go to school. Go to 1,000 hours of YouTube. I learned more from YouTube than I learned from college.
Exactly.
Period. And it was like saying my journey too. I was with crypto. I was like, well, let me Google.
Yeah.
Who am I running into?
I was talking to a guy at the AT&T store who he was about to subscribe to my channel, and he said his son, who's like 7 years old or maybe 10 years old, had a YouTube channel and was just posting some videos, and the dad was like throwing it off like, you know, he's just doing something dumb and he's just having, you know, whatever he's doing. I'm like, no, don't stop it. Don't squash that. Don't squash that creativity. Encourage that. I was like, what's his YouTube channel? I'm gonna go follow him right now, and every time he posts, I'm gonna make a comment, I'm gonna like, because we got to be there to help people grow. Like we have to care about everybody else, because the people at the top, they don't care. That's what I'm saying. You know, it's crazy how if you start young, and if you start at whatever age you're at, you know,
start where you're at, but be
start
consistent.
learning.
It's about consistency. That's what I learned. Just consistency.
Exactly.
You know? And then stretch yourself, and most importantly, invest, because that's what we need. All right, man. Slowly we should get out of here. You got any words of wisdom? I know you've been dropping them. Just about to say, I'm having a great time talking with you as well.
Heck yeah.
Like, this shit's crazy. We're gonna definitely have to do this again.
Oh yeah.
But you got any?
We gotta get a podcast going or something. Because like you said, my wife, she's tired of hearing me talk about all this to her. So I can talk to you, and we're right there on the same level.
Yeah, because my wife too. But one thing she do like every day when I claim, I got these cryptos I'm claiming 10 p.m., 10 a.m. She loves that shit.
Oh yeah. My wife just keeps asking, when do I get to go to part-time? I said, let me get back to you on that.
Exactly.
How fast this channel blows up. But you know, what am I excited about? Obviously, Algorand, you know, go check it out. Read the white paper on it, what they're all about. Follow me, Crypto for Change.
White paper. Break down a white paper real quick. A lot of people don't know what that means.
It literally, in most cases, it's a PDF document. It's just a document that goes over what the goal and what the company, whatever it is, trying to do.
Crypto business plan.
Yeah. Coin market cap. If you go there and you research any crypto, right underneath the ticker symbol, almost always it'll have the website and it'll have the white paper. You can click, you can read more, you can do your own research, which I always recommend, because you're never going to hold an investment unless you believe in it. It doesn't matter how hard the YouTuber that you're following, your buddy who's telling you about it, believes in it. For you to hold it and hold through adversity, you got to believe it. But yeah, Algorand's, you know, massive. I love most of the stuff being built on it. But there's tons of stuff out there. I mean, even outside of Algorand, just in investing in general, I think just telling people about finance and just, you know, start to learn about who's in control of your money. Because once you take that step and you take control of your money, no matter what it is, it's huge. And I would even say, before you start investing, pay off debt, get in, you know, have an emergency fund. Those things are huge. 75% of Americans can't handle a $500 inconvenience or an emergency.
Facts. Yeah.
And that's
scary.
Clean
your credit up. All of that. And I agree too. I even tell single guys, bro, you better get married.
Yeah.
Because women traditionally do better at these things. And it keeps you out of other financial troubles, because you have a partner that you can talk to about this stuff. Because when I got married recently, and like, it made everything just better. I got more time. I got
marriage
more
is a great
focus.
thing.
It is like, I know I was like, shout out to Boku Rum or some guy, but it's like I heard a guy was like, you got better get married. Told me this in 2013, 12. I've done it years later. And I was like, fuck, getting married is one of the keys.
Right.
Is because you're stable, you have a unit, and then y'all can do finances together. Y'all can do your troubles together and your happiness together. And that's what I
make sure, make sure that, you know, just don't go out and marry anybody. You know, make sure it's someone whose goals align with you, you know, who's looking, you know, the same direction or similar direction you're looking. Yeah, I think that's huge. But no, I love talking today. You know, I look forward to seeing this, you know, get out there and having the comments and everybody and what they're going to say in response, because that's all it is. It's a discussion. It's having an open talk to be able to, you know, hear points of view from different backgrounds. My background's very different than yours. And both of our backgrounds are very different from all of our audience. So I would love to see, you know, people's comments and what they're sharing, what they want to say, because that's how we grow. It's how we learn. I say this big thing is coming is that Decipher event at the end of November. I'm going to it live. And
you're in Florida. I know.
It's only 3 hours away. It's only 3 hours away from me. So I'm excited to get there and just, you know, I'm gonna be like staring, you know, like a little kid in the candy store when they start talking. I'm gonna be like, honey, I'm selling
more money
every asset we have right now is going into Algorand. It doesn't matter, but man, you know, that's huge. That's a big thing. And I think as the next years go on, Algorand has some massive potential. So be on the lookout for just it and it growing. Thanks for watching the video, guys, today. I hope you enjoyed a lot of the topics that we covered. And like I said, put in the comments below, you know, some of the topics you enjoyed, ways we can improve this as it goes forward and as we do more, just joint collaborations with some other YouTubers that are out there. And thanks for watching, and let's get out there and make some money.